Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at an accessory that may be critical for those of you, like me, looking for a half case for your brand new Tab S9 Ultra from Samsung. And that's because, quite frankly, the keyboard cover, which would be my first choice, is just incredibly overpriced at $350. So in comes Spigen's Thin Fit Pro half case for both the 9 Ultra as well as the previous generation 8 Ultra. So pretty dynamic. I'll include a link in the description. I did purchase this from Amazon. It just arrived today. Pretty beat up, I have to say. So let's hope it's not damaged. You can see that it looks like it was kind of crushed. But again, the beauty of this case is that it's going to give us a kickstand and back cover protection, yet still will be compatible with the previous generation keyboard portion of the keyboard case. So I'm trying to figure out a good place to put this. I'll just drop it right here. Let's go ahead and get this open and see first and foremost that this is not damaged, and then afterwards we'll move on to fit and finish and just how well it actually works. So I don't know, this may have actually looks like it could be a return now that I'm looking at it, but hopefully it's not. I'm going to go ahead and just cut the seal on both sides. And at $50, there's no question this does seem to be expensive for what it is, but I will remind everyone here that the real expense is, of course, Samsung's product, because, you know, the previous generation, they discounted this heavily for those of us that bought into the incredibly expensive Tab S8 Ultra, although I shouldn't call it incredibly expensive in the context of Apple products. And this, at least right now at first glance, looks pretty good, I have to say, because what we're trying to replace is the back cover that I have right here, which has a great kickstand. It's magnetic, really excellent for the Tab S8 Ultra, but the cutout for the cameras does not fit on the new Tab S9 Ultra, nor does the pen enclosure has changed as well on the new case. So we're going to see how this works. Basically, to my understanding is that you can remove this, I'm already removing it, this portion, which I will not need because this is what is going to give you access to mount the keyboard dock. You can see we have, of course, the cutout for the pen. We also have a kickstand here, which feels pretty good, comparable to Sammy. Not as good, I will tell you that right now. The Samsung is really best in class. And then the other thing you need to know is that this is not magnetic. If that wasn't already obvious, it is a traditional style case that you're going to pop in. So let's do it right now with the Tab S9 Ultra. Let's see what the fit is like. And then hopefully we're going to be able to use this, as I've mentioned, with, of course, the most important element, which, as I try to pop this in, which it looks like I've just about got it, with the keyboard case. So we're in, we're secure. It looks good to me. I don't have the pen on board, but I'm not worried about that. Some instructions, which I probably should have looked at, but, you know, it says right here, when using the keyboard, just make sure the buttons still work, and they do. Not surprised by that. When using the keyboard, let's just take a look at that. I'm going to unlock the tablet, and it's just letting us know that essentially when you're using it, you're going to remove the piece that I already did, and then they're also telling us to push the device into the case as far as it will go. I've already done that. Looks like we have a good fit, and you know, you have to remember this is a pretty slim case. Different approach to Samsung, but still, I want to say very similar in terms of what it accomplishes. And this little plastic piece is what you would keep mounted if you do not plan on using the keyboard. But let's see, because this is an alternate in the event you didn't want to use, you know, the actual Samsung product, I guess, although I'm not sure I see any advantage to going with this over the Samsung build. This would be the only advantage, is that you're saving a lot of money and still getting a fairly, I would say, completely finished look and feel, and there it is. And it does look good. I'll tell you right now, there's no question I'd rather have the Samsung But this accomplishes exactly what I was looking for, which is we now have a case that, in conjunction with the previous generation keyboard, anyone like me who already owns this, granted it shows its wear and tear with all the marks from the year plus, it's more than a year of ownership, this seems to do it. And the side protection, for anyone that was wondering, is there. Now, it's not amazing. You can see that it's a plastic shell. It actually just moved when I did that, so that's a little concerning. I'm taking another look at it right now because I'm looking at these cutouts, and I'm going to remove the keyboard for a second. The cutouts are really close. They're not great. You can see the speaker grill there is exposed, but it's slightly clipped. And then even with the actual, well, I may have moved it down a little bit there. Even the Type-C port for charging didn't look like it was exactly where we wanted it. Of course, this side I pulled off the cover, but you already knew that. And then as we come around to this side, again, the lineup slightly off, I have to say. Surprising from Spigen. You can see that right there. But look, I'm going to try to make do with this because there is no way that I'm giving Samsung the cash for that keyboard cover. If they want to do me a favor because of the hell they've put me through on several different fronts, that's another story. But the physical button for the power works well. Volume rocker, let me go ahead and unlock. If it chooses to. Apparently it's not. There we go. Volume rocker is working as expected. So the cutouts are pretty good. They're not perfect. And then you have this little guy here, which is to secure the keyboard cover, or any cover for that matter, on here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that back on. Again, the fit and finish on this is good. It's not amazing. I see we have a little bit of a gap, and that's what they were talking about, pushing it all the way in, which I think we pretty much have. But this seems like it'll be suitable. I'm not in love with it, but again, for the purpose that I was looking for, it looks like it's going to be your best bet here in 2023 for this device. Pulling this over, in theory, is to give us a little bit, of more security that this is not going to pop off, because those of you who have tested this already know that the magnetic connection with the previous generation keyboard to the new Tab S9 Ultra is pretty weak. But overall functionality is good enough that I think it will serve the purpose for what everyone is looking for out of something like this. And right now, it seems to me like this will be a keeper, even though it isn't perfect, because, again, it accomplishes exactly what I'm looking for. And it, again, is compatible with the Tab S8 Ultra. So for anyone looking for just a half case like this, you've got it in this. The only downside is that unlike the Samsung official cover with kickstand, there is no screen protection. So if you're looking to get this in that capacity, I highly recommend getting a screen protector, something to that effect. And then the fit on the pen side, because those of you who are familiar with the Tab S9 Ultra know one of the big advantages this year is that it does not matter which orientation you put the pen in, it will charge no matter what. And, this isn't bad. It's not the best holder, but it works. The cutout for the cameras is appropriate, and the reason it's compatible with the Tab S8 Ultra is because the camera module is smaller. So having a larger cutout for the cameras, which is the way it accommodates this tablet, because the lens assembly is much larger, as you can see, as I bring them side by side there, or not really side by side, that is the main difference. So of course it's compatible with the previous generation because the tablet is the exact same size, fit, and finish. It's really what's under the hood and just that camera cutout. And again, the ability to charge the pen in any orientation that you attach it. So that's pretty much it. Again, the Spigen Thin Fit Pro for the Tab S9 as well as Tab S8 Ultra. Again, only the Ultra editions. This is not compatible with any of the smaller Tab S9 or Tab S8s, so be aware. But, again, for those of you who think that this is expensive for what it is, I'll remind you that I avoided spending $350 going with Samsung Direct, and this is nearly identical functionality. So pretty good. Kudos to Spigen. There is no other case on the market right now like this. And if you have found one, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I'm sure everyone would like to know. Of course, I want to know because I do still feel this is expensive for what it is. But again, It's a lot less expensive than $350. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them at that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe and please stay safe. Later.